Coach Neil Melanson here. I got my friend Sean. We're at the Hayabusa Training Center. And what we're doing is we're working on techniques on the ground, and I'm gonna work off my back today. I'm gonna show something from my shoulder pin series. I've done something before on the Hayabusa videos, but that was the Neil knot. Today I'm gonna show an armbar, but it's gonna look familiar. I'll take you through it. But basically, when you're fighting off your back, you need to make sure you have a trapping system, and you gotta make sure you have an open guard system. If you have one of each, doesn't matter which, then I think you've got a pretty decent understanding fighting off your back. And always leg and foot control. If you're good with your feet and your legs and your hips, that always helps. Okay, so I'm not very flexible, even though I do like rubber guard. I'm not a rubber guard player, but I do like it. I do the shoulder pin, but once again, like with the shoulder pin, I do it with a 3-finger grip. To me, it's crucial. It's very crucial. So I'll start working through it. Okay. So let's just say, rather than spend time on getting the arm to the mat, because that could get more technical, let's get a breakdown and start getting into the grip. Okay. So I get my breakdown. The first thing I don't want to be flat on my back. I just don't see the point of that. So if I am flat on my back, I'll work off a whizzer first, an overhook, and I'll start to pump, get my foot offline, and then from here, lock my shoulder pin. So when I do my shoulder pin, I want to try to bring my leg up high as I can and bring my chest forward. And I'm gonna lock on his AC joint. This hand is gonna be like this, my thumb towards the camera. And I'm gonna lock these 3 fingers, not these, my left hand, the one that wraps my own leg. Because what I wanna do here, when I lock this, I need to have downward pressure. This is where everybody gets confused. If you just like hug, you're gonna get a reaction. These hips are gonna come up, it's gonna be a disaster. I wanna actually do the opposite. I wanna crush down. He's gonna feel pain here. I want him to feel jammed. Okay, it's not gonna feel good. And I wanna try to get my elbow down. So when I lock here, it's gonna be tight and hard for you to see because I'm gonna crowd him. I always crowd it. I wanna be small. Okay, so when I'm here, I'm down. And from this position, I'll start using my elbow, and I'll get my knee through, and then I'll cross my feet. I like crossing my feet here. You can do open, but I like crossing my feet because it buys me time. I got a lot of pressure. Once I get this pressure now, I'll start choking up on the back, getting high on the shoulder and grabbing. This is similar to, like, I remember the Machado brothers. They would come over here and they would grab the gi. It was kind of a lot of my inspiration is watching and studying them. They're fantastic. So I get my grip here, and then I squeeze my knees. So by doing this hand is free. I can attack the arm. It also sets up the Neil knot, which is one of my favorites. But regardless, whether you're here, you're locked. Now I'm pinching my knees. I'm nice and tight, and I'm bringing him in. I'm not pushing him away. I don't want him to go away. I want to keep him in. Now from this position, he's going to start messing with me. He's going to start giving me pressure. The more pressure, the kind of better for certain things and not so much for others. But once I feel that weight come up, now I'm going to start looking for my attacks. Now, I'm going to start hip escaping, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start squeezing, and I'm going to push down. Don't push away. If you push away, you throw it away. Keep that pressure down. If you need to keep your hands locked, keep your hands locked. But right now, I feel good. I need this hand. So I'm going to squeeze, and I want to start getting weight on my shoulder. So as he starts giving me pressure, I'm going to start reaching for his leg, and I'm going to pivot. I'm nice and tight here. It's all about knees here. Nice and tight with my knees. I don't want to ever finish this from my back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my leg and rotate, bring the leg up towards my head, take him forward, and it's going to be really tight here. I'm going to climb my leg over the head, and I'm going to cross my feet. You don't have to cross, but I like controlling the other arm. Guys say never cross, but I like to control the other arm. Now from here, he's gonna start feeling pressure really fast, and that's where I'm gonna finish. This is done really quickly, but I don't wanna take this out and then try to do all that. It's not hard, it's not worth it to me. If ideally, I'd like to hook this leg. If I get that leg, I like it better. I think I got more options. If I have to go inside, I'll take that. Regardless, I just need to make that hard angle. Okay, a hard angle to me is hooking the leg. Because if I make, get off subject here, but if I make this, to me this is, I have an angle, but it's not a hard angle. It's very easy for him to take this away. If I have his leg, it's a little stronger angle. It takes more technique to take the angle away. So I like having a hard angle. So if I'm here and I'm working and I start setting up, I start working my hips out, now I got my lock. I'll start climbing, gripping. I got my knee through, I'm nice and tight. I'm crowding it. I'm trying to be a tiny man, and now I'm working. If I see my chokes, I feel my triangle setups, or whatever the case is, but now I'm gonna look for my arm bar. Maybe I don't feel like I can catch my Neil knot or my triangle, or I just wanna get some weight off my ribs. So he'll start kind of giving me some pressure. I'll start looking, and I pivot. This will work whether I have a rash guard on or off. And that's the thing, like, don't be dependent on equipment. This is my advice to you. If you're like, hey, I can't do this without like long tights or long sleeves or gi pants, be honest with yourself. Just keep that in a box. Like, hey, this technique works when I have this. Like, embrace the fact that things are slippery. Embrace it, improvise, adapt, overcome. You're gonna thank me later, all right? And that's, I think to me, the challenge of ground fighting, in the word of MMA or grappling, is how do I neutralize athleticism when things are slippery? And if your answer is equipment, as long as that's within the rules of your sport, that's fine, but for me, it's not good enough. I want to be able to neutralize it no matter what. Shoulder pin works for me, whether I have rash guard on or not, long sleeves or shorts, whether I have long tights or gi pants or not. It doesn't matter for me, I can make it work. But it's pressure. I mean, it hurts, right? You feel that pressure on your shoulder. There's no way in hell he's gonna go for an omoplata escape. He's not gonna be able to do any of that. He's stuck. But it took me a long time to master this stuff and figure it out. So I like teaching as much as I can, but the arm bar is a nice misdirect. There's a lot of options here, and they're very, very powerful. And when I do them, they're mean. I'm super mean with it. So there's a lot of different ways to do this, but that's one quick version so you can get going. The big thing you don't want to do is when you're here, if you're flat on your back and you're trying to do all this stuff, just forget it. You can still work it. It's just there's a way to start inching, and then re-grabbing. You can do it. But a lot of times, what I'll do, if he's here and he's super tight, I'll just switch from my overhook, get my hips back in the fight, reframe. Now I'm back up. Now I'm re-looking for my locks. Now I'm looking for my attacks. It's okay, because an overhook is a trap. Overhook's a trap. Rubber guard's a trap. Shoulder pin's a trap. These kind of things are traps. So toy around with it. Try to play around with that arm bar. It's quick and it's very, very, very mean. It's very, very strong. Check out all my Grand Marshal videos. The ones that you don't tune in for. And if you don't subscribe, your training partners are gonna learn it and they're gonna tap you out with it. And you're gonna feel like a fool. Do it now, watch them all, have a blast. I'll see you on the next video.